with our midweek devotion. Every week, about this time, about halfway through our week and halfway through the day, we stop and we try and hear a word of grace from Scripture. So let's get started. I pray that the eyes of your heart will have enough light to see what is the hope of God's call, what is the richness of God's glorious inheritance among believers, and what is the overwhelming greatness of God's power that is working among us believers. That's from 1 Corinthians 1:18 and 19. Now, it happened by accident. My grandmommy Kathleen had just gotten some new readers. They were black, small, and round. About 13 or 14, in the midst of reading the Harry Potter series, I thought they looked just like his. Excuse me. As a sort of joke, I put them on and marched around my grandmommy's house speaking in a horrible British accent that I won't try and redo. Everyone laughed at my imitation, or at least that's how I remember it. They were probably laughing at how bad of an actor I was. Anyway, a curious thing happened when I stopped and looked around. I could see. My hands were clear. Words on pages weren't blurry. And more importantly, my eyes and head weren't hurting. My grandmother's readers worked. I needed glasses to see. It took an accident, a playful joke, and my grandmommy getting old enough to need readers for that realization to come. I suppose I could have gone to the eye doctor and had a formal eye exam, but that wasn't the way it worked. Being given the eyes to see was a surprise. It's like that with the way God works in the world too. If you squint your eyes just right, you can maybe catch a glimpse of what Jesus is doing, where he's serving, and how his love is being shared. He does give us a major hint when he spoke about being present in and with those the world doesn't consider worth time, care, and love, the least of these in Matthew 25. But even then, the Spirit is described as being like the wind, blowing to and fro without a way for us to predict where and when it will be. And it's particularly hard when your eyes are trained by the values of the world, where self-interest, success, comfort, and security are the bottom line. Paul likens to living this way like wandering around in the night without a light. It might be possible to get it done, but it is at least awfully difficult to get to the goal. That's why he prays that the eyes of your heart will have enough light to see our hope lies beyond our ability to get things perfect, enough light to see we will all be united with Christ at the end, enough light to see God's power is made perfect in weakness among each other. Paul wants us to see clearly, but he knows it is something we cannot do on our own. Having the eyes to see and the ears to hear is a gift from God. We need help. And even having those eyes or being given glasses to correct our vision sometimes isn't enough. The shadows of the world, and I'm talking about things like wanton greed and retributive violence, naked oppression, and unchecked solipsism, they cast a pall over our sight too. We need a light to guide us. Help us keep our eyes on the prize and not lose sight of that ultimate goal. And so I suppose it's a good thing that the light of the world is coming once again. He'll light our path forward and guide us through the night, inviting others to join us on the way. And at the end, it's told we won't need the sun or the moon, because he will be our light. Thanks for joining me for this week's devotion. I hope you heard a word of grace, and I invite the Spirit to give you those eyes to see. If you like what you heard, please like and share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. And you're always invited to join us for worship, both in person and online, 10:30 Sunday mornings. But if not, our benediction is the same today as yesterday and tomorrow. God be with you till we meet again.